Hello there, I'm Josh and welcome back to the back post. If if you'd like to subscribe and tell me what you think, please do as always, but who knows what direction we're going in after this. Jay and Adam have already been online and spoken about their views, and I should probably do the same. I have already gone into depth of my views on the Blues podcast. Had a really good time over there. Recommend you check that out. It is long though, I warn you. And I'll probably be rehashing some of those points here. So let's begin. It's all a bit of a jumble. For starters, let's not pretend that football's was pure and innocent up until about 30 hours ago. Like, we all hate to say it, we support a sport that is, run by billionaires. We're talking, whether it's the whitewashing with the city owners, whether it's, Abramovich's Russian oil money like coming in with, whether it's Gazprom's influence, whether it's the thousands of workers that are dying trying to get ready for the Qatar World Cup, which was bought via bribery this is just the straw that broke the camel's back, isn't it? And, this has got us riled up. Bamford said it best. We should be getting this riled up due to the racism in the game. But, I personally, detest it and disgust it. But how do you fight those things? They're so difficult to tackle. Whereas this is here, it's in your face, and it's threatening now. So we're going to talk about it. But yeah, just wanted to get out of the way. Football is fucking horrible. Anyway, it's meant to be escapism. It's not. It's corrupt. It's dark. Where to go from there? For starters, anyone wants to comment below with the whole, why are Spurs even in this? Fucking feel free to. The 1 ounce of comedy in all of this is the fact that Spurs have actually managed to sneak into a European Super League, having won the league last in 1961 and not winning a major cup in 30 years and not winning any cup of any kind in 13 years. So, high elite football clubs. We've still got Eric Dyer defending for us. Sorry, Eric Dyer, I do love you, but I have a valid point. Oh, Christ. Again, on the flip side, it's very easy for clubs like Leeds, it's very clubs like West Ham to come out and say, oh my God, this is disgusting when they weren't invited. I think there's this moral high ground that's been taken when clubs like West Ham, bastardise their own fans by building the stadium that nobody wanted around a running track and destroying, West Ham's spiritual home and moving them across London. It's very rich for clubs like that to take the high ground here, but they're still right because at the moment, what we're doing is worse. I know this. I'm not defending the Super League. I hate the Super League. I hate the idea of the Super League. I'm just saying. Yes, one of the other things about Tottenham being in this is we've only really been experiencing Champions League football for, a decade and, not even, semi-regularly. So for us now to have the cheek to think that we should secure that right over, a team like Leicester that's won the league, a team like West Ham that's pushing for it right now is insane. I don't know what's worse. Is it Liverpool saying, this means more, and you'll never walk alone? Is it Arsenal and United that are steeped in Premier League culture? Or is it Tottenham, at the end, what about us? Morons. The question is, sorry about that, where does this end? Because this is just the beginning. Whether you hate it like most people do, whether you kind of go, a Super League, that AC Milan are fun to play. This doesn't end here. This is Americanization, and I'm sorry if you're American, but the American sports model is Americans in general. You can use comedy as a parallel. They don't like to lose. So if you watch an American comedy, it's about the guy, things are going right for him, but it's funny and, things go well. Look at British comedy. Look at European comedy. We like the defeat. We like the underdog story. We like the the failure, the glorious failure. Tottenham's motto, the game is about glory, by the way. Fucking throw that out the window. And, you know, it reminds me of when America, you know, because this is mainly American. I know Chelsea is Abramovich, but they have American influences. Obviously, Fenway Sports, Stan Kroenke, the Glazers, you know, there's heavy American influence on this. With this gimme culture in America, you know, David Beckham came out and said that this is not okay. Football is about the fair chance for everyone to reach the same heights and to have an open league. And it's like, you own Inter Miami, you don't get a say in this anymore. Like, you own a stake in a closed league. And, you know, I'm a Tottenham fan. I can't tell you the fear of a relegation battle. I can tell you the fear of being shit, you know, just good enough to be in the Premier League but still being shit. But the highs, the lows, as a European football fan, the lows make the highs. Jay will tell you, he had a terrible time when Chelsea finished 10th. It was awful. But when they won the league next season, it made it unbelievable. The fact that Leicester fought off relegation before then going on to the title is what makes that story so fascinating. It's the soul, it's the risk, it's the reward, it's what we live for, and it's what we watch the sport for. And just on that basis, you know, what's the point? What's the point? I like watching Tottenham play Madrid, but in 5 years' time, when we've played them 10 times, you know, am I going to care? You know, there's only so many things we can care about. And when the fixture list comes out, as a Tottenham fan, I look, oh, there's Chelsea, there's West Ham, there's Arsenal, there's United, there's City, there's, you know, the Champions League, a few games. Every season when you're going, oh God, that's AC Milan, or that's Madrid, that's Barca, and then we've got Chelsea in the league, and then we've got Chelsea in the Super Cup straight afterwards, and then we've got Chelsea in the FA Cup afterwards. Like, and suddenly you're playing, like, no, just no. On top of this, you know, like I said, Liverpool pretend they're there for the community. Arsenal made 55 members of staff redundant while in chats for this £350 million a year deal that they're about to go into. Spurs tried to apply for furlough. And, you know, I always felt that even though I know Spurs are owned by an investment company, they're here to make money. I know that. I always felt like we were inoffensive. We weren't the good guys, but we definitely weren't the bad guys. And it's really quite depressing for me to wake up and be the bad guy and, you know, and agree. That's the worst. There's more to say on this, and we will have more to say on this, I'm sure. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. All I want to do is go and watch Ryan Mason lead Tottenham out in a Carabao Cup final. As you know, that's all I want to do. And I'm not going to say I'm not going to do that. I don't know. And if I did know, you know, never be sure of anything. You know, just let it follow, let it flow. Let's see what happens. And the final point I would like to say, I said this to Jay and Adam, it's not the badges' fault, is it? Like, weirdly, as a football fan, that's what you love. The culture behind that badge. It's not the cockerel on the ball's fault. It's not the ship in the circle's fault. It's not the devil holding the pitch for Tottenham, City and Chelsea and United. It's the people behind this, and they're not representative of you. They're not representative of your football club. They just happen to be the ones that can afford it. And, you know, I'm not a communist. I'm not fully against capitalism, but this is a new level of capitalism. This is billionaire owners trying to make what? Another billion, another million on top of that? This is all it is. And so if you're sat there and you're heartbroken, your club hasn't betrayed you. The people who own your club have betrayed you. The club's an idea. Look at the FC United of Manchester. They rose up. Look at what Wimbledon managed to do when their club was stripped away from them. The club, the club's here, you know. The club can be what you make it. And if, you know, the club is taken from you, then it's going to be up to us to find a way around that, isn't it? But hey, I'm done because this is approaching like 7 minutes. But if you stuck along for this ride, Christ, yeah, we'll see what happens, won't we? Tell your dad.